subscribe. Alright, let's get this fairy party started. I'm starting with the stalk of the toadstool, which will be the walls of the house, and I'm using a sunflower yellow for this, and I'm making a square-ish shape on my neck. Now I'm adding in the top of the toadstool, which is going to be our roof, and I'm using a red face paint, and I'm starting just underneath the eye level and curving round to the chin and then joining it to the walls at the bottom. And yeah, that looks about right. Before I fill in the roof, I'm drawing on some white splodgy shapes. I'm doing this first so that they stay nice and bright and white, and so they don't get muddied up by the red. I'm doing a few different sizes of the white splodges to add a little bit of interest. Right, now I'm outlining those white bits and then filling in the rest of the roof with red. Let me just take my lip piercing out so it doesn't get in the way. There we go. Okay, now I'm using a light coral shade to colour in the underside of the roof. And this is what you should have so far. Now the roof is a little bit drier. I'm drawing in a crooked little chimney with grey face paint. Now our little house needs a door, so I'm doing a little arched brown door in the middle. And then we need some windows, so I'm drawing those in with white. Now I'm going over the chimney again with some silver face paint to give it a metallic effect. And while that's still wet, I'm adding some black for shading. If this gets a little bit dark, don't worry, just go back in with the silver to blend it out. I'm filling in the windows with black, and I'm using a very light hand and using the very tip of the brush to get right into those tiny corners. And then to perfect those shapes even more, I'm going over the white parts again, this time with silver. Every tiny door needs a tiny handle, so I'm making mine gold. And then I'm adding some wood detail with a darker brown to the door. Now I'm adding a bit of detail to the garden with some pebbles, grass and a giant daisy. And now we move on to our little fairy friend. I'm using a pen that had already run out of ink, and I'm dipping that into black face paint so that I can get a really super fine line. And then I'm filling him in with pale flesh tone and some green for the hat. The inspiration for this little guy came from the artist Brian Froud, who is truly amazing. I've been a fan since I was very small. If you're a fantasy art fan, you should definitely check him out. I'm going back in with my pen to draw some tiny facial features, and that's him done. Now let's move to our night sky. I'm drawing a white crescent moon and then carefully outlining our little fairy guy and painting the rest of the sky with black. I feel like this little guy needs a name. What shall we name him? Give me some ideas in the comments. Oh, and by the way, don't get black face paint in your eye. It probably won't turn you blind, but it's not pleasant. Now I'm using a bigger brush to fill in the larger areas. Back to our moon, I'm refining the shape slightly by switching back and forth between black and white face paint. And now I'm using some silver face paint and an eyebrow brush, and I'm just flicking on some of the paint to get some star clusters in the sky. Right, I've put this off long enough. I hate painting my ears, but it needs to be done, so here we go. And I'm also colouring in my hairline so that no skin is showing through in the final piece. For a bit more detail, I'm adding some more petals to the daisy using some white eyeliner, and then I'm drawing the middle of the flower with some yellow eyeliner. I'm lining my water lines and putting some black mascara on to help camouflage my eyes a little bit. Now it's time for some glitter. I'm using this holographic glitter and some eyelash glue to create a wisp of magical smoke coming from our chimney, and I'm also giving our fairy a little hint of glitter in his hand, as well as a tiny little bit dusted over the moon. Now I'm using this silver star-shaped glitter for some more detailed stars in our night sky, and again I'm using eyelash glue to attach them. You can use liquid latex if you like, it's pretty much the same thing. Now this fairy story is that he finds diamonds and he hangs them in the sky to shine as stars. So we've got to give him his own little diamond now, don't we? Now all I have to do is stand in front of my black backdrop and I disappear. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up before you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. And if you want to watch some more videos, you can click these ones.